Aloha, everyone, and welcome to the Heart to Spirit Connections with Karinna Nielsen. This is our October program, and the title of our program this month is Ascension, Finding the Peace That Leads to Love. And so I want to welcome you to this monthly webinar program, and our intention is to expand our heart's connection with spiritual guidance and create a feeling of balance on all four bodies: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So together, we're discovering new levels of self-love using the healing tools of Lemurian conscious creation, including signature cell healing and the 10 principles of consciously creating. Our topic today, as I said, is Ascension, Finding the Peace That Leads to Love. So before we get going, everybody just center yourself where you are and take some nice deep breaths as I call upon the Creator's light, the Christ light, the Goddess Weave of Love, our Master Guide Kuro, the Master Kahu Fred, our Master Elion, and Master Jesus, and all the beautiful energies of love that guide us in our journey on earth in this great shifting consciousness. For we know we're focused on healing ourselves and raising our frequency of love as we face our fears and move forward in the highest light of love, because we're on the ascension process. Whatever that means for each of us as an individual will be unique, and we will have our most beautiful experience. And we pray that each of us has the best lifetime ever for healing and moving ourselves into the higher realities of love. And we offer this prayer in humble love and gratitude. And so it is in love. Amen. Okay, so that'll center us for the program. Welcome everyone that's here live, and for those of you coming in later on the recording, which will be on my YouTube channel, and also a link going to that, whoops, a link going to that from my website. So I want to start by picking a Lemurian prophecy card for this reading. And these are just the, just a regular card deck, but I have them in my special little box. And we want to shuffle 5 times, because in the Lemurian numerology, 5 is the number for love. And we are in that Lemurian numerology in the 10th month of October. So that number comes down to a 1. So it's a month of creation. And I'm going to talk a little bit about, not to go back too strongly into the 9, which was last month, but it was pretty powerful. I don't know how you felt about it, but it was a powerful month. So we're going to take the cards, and I'm going to ask you to put your energy into the cards. Got that. And then we're going to, okay, so I guess we will go back a little bit into the 9, since we got the 9. And the 9, of course, September was the 9 month of completions and new beginnings. So first of all, we'll talk about that, and then we'll go into the 1, which is this month. But last month, I remember, I don't think we've had a Heart to Spirit Connections webinar since August, maybe. Last month we didn't have it. But the 9 month for me was really powerful. I mentioned in my write-up in the newsletter, and also on the webpage for this program on my website, KarinnaNielsen.com, about towards the beginning of the month. In fact, on 9/9, I tested positive for COVID, which started as a time of 9 days, because on 9/18, I tested negative. But between that, those nine days were extremely powerful because I could fully experience what that's like to have that COVID. And I haven't, all the years I haven't had it, and ended up just, if I was going to get it, it was the perfect time to get it. Because my husband's been traveling and there's nobody here. And my sister-in-law said to me, "Oh, but nobody could take care of you." And that's really not my journey, having people take care of me. I'm more inclined to take care of other people. So I didn't really even think about that. But what I did think about was it was the greatest opportunity for me to take care of myself. That's the journey. And so I was forced to pretty much take care of myself. And the wild animals that we got here in our house. We got three cats and a number of fish and birds. So I had a great time taking care of myself. I didn't, the COVID was kind of heavy, but I could use all of the signature cell healing that I knew to gravitate through that time. And I'm so grateful for signature cell healing because everything that I knew helped me to deal with what was going on for me. And that's the beauty of signature cell healing. When something happens, and there's going to be something that happens always, we're always going to come up on something happening in our lives because that's why we're here. We're here to have an adventure, right? We're here to have an experience. And sometimes that experience involves maybe an illness or, something that we have to take care of. So I'm just saying that this was a time where I could really put my signature cell healing to use, and the meditations, the 10 principles, everything that I needed to do to to get better and get back on track. And I lost a lot of weight, put it back on again though. But I really learned a lot about, what's important to me and what I need to do first because with this, in that time, and I'm a really avid multitasker. I'll get one thing going over here, and then I'll do something over there, and then something over there, and then I'll tie it all up. You can't do that. I couldn't do that. I could only do one thing at a time, one thing at a time. And that was really different for me. So it was um, it was an incredible month. And I had family visiting also. So I had an opportunity to really delve into my blueprint and what I'm here to experience. So I'm praying that you might have had a little bit of that yourself in the 9 months. If not, we'll all come to that point, right? Because what we're here to do is work through our own personal life plan and whatever that is. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because this is the month of creation in October. And what we want to do is focus that creation because it can be, the creation month can be really energetic. And if what we can do is focus that energy into what we want to do, what we want to create, and not allow other people to create for us, create for ourselves what it is we want. So then you think, well, then I'd have to know what I want. And so that gets us into the focus of, well, do I really deserve that? Am I worthy of that? Oh, I couldn't do that. But yes, you can. You can do what you want. So in love, ask yourself this month, what do I want? What do I really want to create in my life? And then throw off the limits to that. Throw off the limits that say, well, you didn't go to school for that, or, that's for other people to do. No, be honest with yourself and find out, what do I want to do? that's a really beautiful thing that I've been able to do so far this month is just say, yeah, what do I want? What do I want? And then find out the importance of your focused creation. So then we weave because that's the first principle, and that would be number one principle is truth. So when we are honest with ourselves and truthful with ourselves, we can really get a good idea about what we've come to do in this lifetime. You know, what do we want to focus on? What did we put in our blueprint? And you can access your own blueprint through meditation and then just pray. Can I look into my blueprint? Can I feel what I actually have brought in for this lifetime to create? And just be really honest with yourself. Do a little automatic writing afterwards. It's not, it's just a simple thing. You might hear a word, you might, want to draw a picture or something to understand what your higher self wants you to know. So we have an incredible topic. First of all, does that bring up any questions? Because I will take a breath here. And this is the energy of this month. We're going to come up on this 1010 pretty quick, which is a powerful creation energy. And for those of you who go back that far, when I was in the Silver Wings of Light Goddess Weave, we did our tours, our goddess tours to the different islands, and I think we took one to Japan on 1010. So 1010 was the baptism day because it's about consciously creating. So look at that. So that'll be next week is the 1010. So think about where you're going to be and what you're going to be, what you're going to be doing at 1010, at 10 o'clock or 1010 on 1010. It would be amazing. So our topic this month, and also the chat room is open if you need to put any kind of message in there to me, or you can raise your hand and I'll take your question. As I shared in the October newsletter and on the webpage, during my time when I was, reading, not able to do much of anything else, I came across a very short church missive that was written by my mentor and dear friend Kahu Fred Sterling in 2008. And when I read it, I thought, oh my God, this is just perfect for now. He wrote it in 2008, and it's so perfect for now. And I don't believe it ever had a title. It was just a writing that he used to put in the program for the church services. There were programs, or I used to read his missives in the church, so I would get it and then print it out and then read it in the service, and that was it for many years. After a while, I went on the website, but some of them they were just read once. But this one really struck me. So I'd like you can look on the a webinar webpage on my website, or you can just listen along with me now because it's very short. And I want to find out, if you have questions or what does this bring up for you? So I'll clear my throat. And this is from Kahu Fred Sterling in 2008. As we move through this year, hopefully we are beginning to understand the true meaning of controlling our thoughts. We're straddling this third dimensional reality and maybe seeing for the first time how important it is to weave our thought consciousness into love. Every day, I have the opportunity to immerse my energy in fear. I don't want to do it, yet I find myself engaged in precisely what I don't want. I know from the start that I will go there, yet I always have the heartfelt choice to go to love instead. And that's the dilemma. How to consistently make the latter choice. That heartfelt choice to move toward love may not be the only solution, yet I know it works. It means that I have to be aware of the people I surround myself with and then consciously join our worlds in a new energy. With that commitment, I will always control my environment and place myself in the peace that leads to love. Retracing the path that led away from the peace doesn't always work. It may be more efficient to act in an uncommon manner and place ourselves in an uncompromised and unabashed commitment to love. Ultimately, we have the right to leave the space of fear and find a place where love is apparent. Can it be that simple? That's it. But so powerful in just a few paragraphs. There's so much there. Does that bring up any thoughts for you? When I first look at it, and I mentioned this to a healing client that I have, and they said, well, why would anyone choose fear when love feels so good? Yeah, why indeed, right? And then I wondered, I asked myself, well, do we really, do we really actually realize when we're in fear? Do we know it? Do we know it? Because I used to get really angry with people. I'm talking about even before this missive was written, when I first came to the Honolulu Church of Light in the 90s, right? I was angry at my family. I was angry at this person or that person. I mean, angry, but that's fear, see? And most people don't realize that anger is a form of fear. Or there's other things like avoidance. Like if I'm avoiding something, isn't that also a fear? So I'm just wondering, you know, do we really know what fear feels like? Sometimes we're so used to it, right? We're so used to, I don't talk to that person because I just don't talk to that person, right? Or, I get angry when I talk to that person, or that really makes me angry, or this, let's take politics, for example. That's so interesting that the entire time, and my family, for the most part, is on the other end of the political spectrum that I am. I'll just put it that way. We didn't have one argument. We didn't have one conversation about anything. And we're so close to this election, right? Because I know, and they know, we just don't go there. We don't go there because I'm not going to change their mind. They're probably not going to change my mind. But what we do is we find out more about each other by talking about family or, what's going on in their lives, right? And stay away from anger if possible. But sometimes it's not possible, right? Sometimes we just, like in Kahu's missive, we suddenly find ourselves there. And that paragraph there, every day I have the opportunity to immerse my energy into fear. And we all do, right? We all have that opportunity. I don't want to do it, yet I find myself engaged in precisely what I don't want. So you find yourself suddenly in an argument, or suddenly there's something there that, it's a fear, right? Um, I know from the start that I will go there, yet I always have the heartfelt choice to go to love instead. And that's the dilemma, how to consistently make the latter choice, right? Does that bring up anything for you folks? Any comments or questions? Because we all can find ourselves suddenly in a situation where, oh my God, I'm arguing with this person. I don't want to do it. Or, I can go back to this time when Kahu probably wrote it. I understand what he's saying because at that time, the church was in a different space at that time. It was growing. There were different people on staff. There was we were all, it was really a place where we could all go through our blueprints and the healing that we needed to understand, right? So, I mean, I can just totally relate with what he's talking about there. I don't know. How about you? Yes, Wendy, go ahead.
I just would say everything you say resonates with me now, because one of my biggest issues, and I talk to poor Mary Faith about it all the time, is that I'm afraid of all this, the unknown. So, what something you talked about, anger, for me, it's like the unknown. Well, frankly, all of life has been unknown from the time you're a little kid, really. You don't know what's going to happen, but you're sort of fine with it. And then up at a certain point for me, now it's become a huge issue. And I know I'm consciously recognizing the fear because it's so tremendous. And I am going into meditation and praying and trying to avoid anything that kind of adds to that. But it is a big issue, Karinna, and I really appreciate you addressing this and just always choosing the love, choosing the path that works for us. And on your website, you had written, how can we not despair over all the chaos and hatred we've seen in the world? And
Good.
every day, that is a huge choice to just see the suffering and then somehow still go to love and a reaction to that. So the more information you can give us to address that, yay.
Yay. I'm really glad you brought up that question because I I think about that with most people in the world, right, Wendy? It's so common that we see what's going on and we despair and we want to help or we want to, we don't want to be in fear. So, I mean, so much came up for me when you were talking just now. One of them is trust. So the second principle, the first principle is truth in the 10 principles of consciously creating. And that's on my website too, in the Lemurian wisdom section. Truth. So what is the truth? And the truth is we're in the great shift in consciousness. And when we know that, and everyone here on this, live on this program, you know about the great shift in consciousness because you've heard about it. I've talked about it. Some people call it the Ascension. That's why I called this program Ascension, finding the peace that leads to love, because the energy on Earth is rising. Mother Earth is shifting. Mother Earth herself is shifting, and we are shifting with her. So that means there are different people at different levels of vibration. We are moving from the third dimension into the fourth and the fifth dimension and wherever we're moving, but we're moving out of the third dimension, which is that yin and yang. So when we move to trust, what are the tools that we have to address that feeling of I don't have any control, right? That's the no control. So you were okay when you were young because it was kind of an adventure, right? Um, Unfortunately, some people when they're young don't have a great experience, right? They'd like to have a little more control too, probably. But what we have is we're working through our own blueprint. So at some time, we made the choice for whatever life we have. And that includes people who experience all kinds of whatever is going on in the world now. And some of it is quite horrendous. What we have within the 10 principles of consciously creating is meditation, right? As Wendy mentioned, but we have prayer. And I just recently came across something that Master Guide Kirill had told the goddess lights many years ago is pray. You have the choice to pray whenever there's a storm, whenever there's a war, whenever there's anything going on that stirs your heart, pray and send light to those people. And I can say that to all of you. I've got a lot of goddess lights here. I mean, if there were other people who are not quite so spiritual, they might say, well, that's a little Pollyanna, isn't it? But that is what we do. We pray. We pray and we send light and we pray for the people that we love. We pray for people we don't even know. We pray for events around the world. And we're also doing that in the global healing meditation for Mother Earth, which we're going to do on the 14th this month for our planet. So prayer is an option. And in this month of consciously creating, we don't have to despair over the chaos that we see in the world, because we know that whatever's happening is part of what the unfolding is. So the unfolding of the great shift in consciousness. And you might say, well, geez, these are really awful things. And it just really depends on how you look at it. Remember, in our signature cell healing classes and workshop, we have that quote from the quantum physicist Max Planck, who said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this is a principle, the observer principle in quantum physics. So it's a truth. And you can change the way you look at things based on what you know. We know it's a great shift in consciousness. We know that the goddess light is here to share our love with everyone and with the world, and to pray and to come together in this weave of light, and that everyone deserves an experience of their choosing, whatever that is. Because some people, especially younger souls, Wendy, younger souls on this planet, it's their last chance on this planet to have an experience that a younger soul might have. And I'm talking about, if they haven't robbed a bank yet, it's time. Because in the fourth dimension, when this planet is elevated in frequency, these types of experiences will not be available any longer. So, you're saying, okay, well, it's okay then for that to happen. It's what people are choosing to experience, and it's our choice how we look at it. So when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change, because it's based on our understanding of love, our understanding that we are elevating our frequency of love in order to shift with the planet and allow for the experience to unfold. Aldine, you raised your hand, and I would love to have your thoughts on this.
As you were speaking, it's just so interesting. You pretty much said exactly what I was thinking. I think that part of the chaos that we're noticing is there because we need to notice it. And because we need to notice it, then we have the option to do the fear love thing and choose love, because it's so much easier. You
feels so much better.
And you actually can do something. I mean, and the more people that realize, and it's a realization that praying, sending love, that it makes a difference, it really does.
Yes.
And so I'm just kind of putting exclamation points on what you just said. Thank you.
It's a weave. It's a purple green weave. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Mihinaku, because yeah, it really is. And that is really an important point, what you said early on there, that Master Guide Kirill was saying. It's not for us to look away from it, because we talk about, okay, so sometimes I just turn off the news, right? I don't watch the news. I'm sure going to know what's going on because I'm purple and we know what's going on. Somehow I always get the news. So, but it's not about avoiding what's going on. And that's not the point. The point is not to avoid it. The point is, like you said, to take the opportunity to go do the fear to love thing and to choose love and to send light. So I know where I want to pray, what part of the world I'm praying for, or the people I'm praying for, based on what's happening. So I don't want to avoid that. That's not what this is about. It's about actively engaging in love and sending the light where it's needed. And that's the journey of the Goddess Lights. And we're all Goddess Lights right here on this program, live on this program. If especially the female energies of the earth plane, we're all Goddess Lights. Some men also, I would say, but primarily the women, because we have the double X chromosome. Yes, Gloria, please go ahead.
I keep thinking of Helene that has just come through the South, because before I moved back to Hawaii, I lived in the greater Asheville area of North Carolina. And I have family and friends in that area. Fortunately, everybody is okay that I've been able to contact. But it's just the size of that experience that they're going through and putting us through to send them light and love and try to understand the whole thing. So, I mean, you got any thoughts and comments to share about that, Karinna?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, Gloria, my heart goes out to you for your journey on that, because it's part of your healing as well, because that's family and that's friends in that area. And so the challenge, the time is now for you, to amp up your prayers, which I know you've probably done, and pray for your family. And you've got all of us now. Mary Faith has her sister is in Asheville area also. So I mean these types of I call them opportunities for prayer. These are the times when we really need to amp up the love and send it to that area, because that's where it's needed. And when we look at it, of course, we feel that, right? We feel that, and it becomes an opportunity for us to heal as well, because we don't want to go to fear. We know that love feels better than fear, but then we go there, like Kahu said, we go there anyway, because it's our default mechanism as humans, right? It's our defensive mechanism. If there's fear, we'll be prepared, right? We'll be prepared if there's fear. But I really believe if we're in love, we'll be prepared. And that's kind of counterintuitive for most humans, right? Does that help, Gloria?
Yes, it did. And also, when I moved back over here, I was in the Charlotte area and they had flooding in that area too. So that whole western part of North Carolina is just.
Yeah, you are where you're supposed to be. And that's a really good example. So thank you for bringing that, because we're all going to be where we need to be now at this time of the great shift in consciousness. So there's where we can trust that everybody is where they need to be. Gloria is here in Lemuria.
Exactly.
And not where the flooding was, because you're not supposed to be in that situation, right? You're supposed to be here.
And sending my love to them.
Right. Sending your love to them, and also living out whatever you need to do here in Lemuria, right? Which is send love to them, right?
Right.
But getting back to Wendy's, thoughts about, what do we do? What do we do? We know something, we know there might be things coming that we can't control. We want the control, the feeling of control. And yet, by letting go of control, that notion that we can control something is giving us the control, because we have the power of prayer and the power of living from our hearts. And then we know we'll always be where we need to be, and allow the other people in our lives and in the world, their journeys. We allow them to have their experiences, whatever they need to have, right? And we therefore create almost like, and this is part of what I experienced this past month, created I defined my boundaries a little bit better, in that I knew, okay, I cannot take care of anybody else right now, even the cats. I just put in the earplugs and slept, because that's all I could do. So if, I mean, if that's all we can do, that's all we can do. And we need to nurture ourselves and put ourselves in the place of love, right? So I don't know, I saw another hand here. Yeah, go ahead, Wendy.
Mary Faith had a hand up.
Oh, okay, Mary Faith.
On mute. I think for me, the really difficult part, aside from the fact that my sister is stuck up there, with no power and no water and no way to communicate with her, I look at that and it just breaks my heart, because I've been there since I was a little kid. We would go there. But what really, really kills me, because I know that people in Nashville are resilient and they'll be able to heal, and they'll be able to rebuild, and it won't ever be the same, but it'll be safe and it'll be good. But when I see these poor Lebanese women walking over old rubble, holding little children and trying to get across the border to Syria so that they won't be killed in Lebanon, I think, how could anyone even want to experience something like that? Why would they need to?
Right. That's a really good question. And I know that's an area that you've felt connection to, because of your heritage, right? But, there are parts of the world where I learned this over the years from Master Guide Kirill and Kahu, that they're just younger souls that need particular experiences that we might have completed already. So, here we are in a safe place. All of us that are on this call, we're in a safe space. A bomb is not going to drop on us. We're going to do our meditations and our prayers for others around the world. That's my duty as a goddess, is to pray for others around the world. I allow that to unfold, but what I do is I send love, so that the people that need that experience, they can have it. But I want to elevate the entire earth plane. I don't want to look away. I want to send light, and I want to raise the frequency of love on this planet by connecting my heart to the hearts like you folks, and we join together. And Mary Faith, you're together with in the graduate review session times, and these are powerful gatherings.
They are.
And we are allowing ourselves to understand what's happening in the world and release judgment of the journeys that we see as we change the way we look at things. The things we look at change, and we look at it with understanding, and we look at it with love.
Thank you, Karinna.
I hope that helps.
It did.
It's a tough journey. Yeah. And definitely, like Master Kirill told us many years ago, don't look away. Pray for it. If you've seen it, if you've had especially Mary Faith now, if you've had that energy attract your attention, that's where you need to send the light, and that's where you need to pray. And we'll all, and place it in the prayer bowl at the Honolulu Church of Light, which, by the way, will be happening tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll have the first Sunday church service at Honolulu Church of Light, which you can come on to on the live streaming at honoluluchurchoflight.com. The prayer bowl there is magical. We place prayers for people, for situations, for Mother Earth in the prayer bowl, and we energize it every night at 11:30 Hawaii time. We send our light to that prayer bowl. And there's been magical, incredible healing that's taken place. I'm part of that healing that benefited from that prayer bowl. So Tatiana, did you have your hand up also? I wasn't clear. Okay, good. Okay. So I hope that's helpful to understanding, because we're in a really tender time. I'll call it a tender time. And it's a time, as Master Guide Kirill says, of the great shift in consciousness. And I've got those books, all the books are around here from Kahu Fred. The Signature Cell Healing book is available in ebook. The 10 Principles is back here with Guide to the Unseen Self. And there's also the Great Shift book, all on signaturecellhealing.com. And, you know, there's timeless wisdom in these books and in those audio recordings. And if I'm discovering this 2008 missive that was never published by Kahu Fred Sterling, I mean, this is timeless stuff. And I actually think they were like way ahead of their time, because what we learned from them, what I learned from them over the course of 25 years or so with Kahu, it's helping me now, and it's helping, you know, it can help you too, is what I'm saying. So look into Signature Cell Healing and look into the books and the audio recordings that are available on signaturecellhealing.com. And any of the channeled wisdom that you see on my website from over the years. There's a lot of really great information that's available to anyone at KarinnaNielsen.com. So if there's no more shares or questions, I'd like to end with a meditation. Excuse me. So everybody, just get comfortable, and we're gonna start to bring in the golden particles. So as you breathe, bring in the golden particles, and this is the Denjie light through your crown chakra, and just breathe it in through the pineal gland with the signature cell and your blueprint, and bring the light through that blueprint and down into your heart space, into the heart chakra. And just keep breathing that way, and relax into that golden light of love. And as you bring that through into your heart, allow the energy to just expand. Keep breathing, bring the light into your heart chakra, and start to expand it out through your emotional body, out from your physical body, and into your emotional body. And then breathe out through your mental body, and then into your spiritual body, and just feel yourself enveloped in this beautiful light of love. And you bring that light in down into your heart, and just feel the safety of this energy. And as you center there in your heart, begin to see in front of you, there's a door, and it's just a little bit open. So when you feel comfortable and centered, reach out and open the door. And what you see behind the door now could be anything. It could be something unique for you. It might be a person, it might be a place, it might be an energy that you haven't felt in a while. But just lead with your heart as you look through that door, and step a little closer now. And I want you to choose to see whatever you see, whoever you see, choose to see it in love from your heart. So whatever appears for you, send the light from your heart to that person or to that scene, or whatever you're looking at through that doorway. And just know you're sending light from your heart, from a very safe space. That person or that scene or that situation or that place are going to receive your love, your particles of light, your goddess love. They will receive it, and they will have the choice of what they want to do with that love. We allow them that choice. So just breathe and continue sending the light, sending the love, knowing it's being received. And watch the energy shift. Feel your love making a difference. And when you're ready, just begin to draw your energy back, take a step back from the doorway. You can close the door, leave it open, leave it ajar, however you feel. Step back, feel your energy come back into your heart again. Center in your heart, and now send your light down into Mother Earth. And send your light deep, deep, deep into the core light of Mother Earth. And then just feel the love of Mother Earth coming back to you in gratitude for the beautiful journey you're doing on Earth. Everything you're doing is perfect. Mother Earth does not judge us. She just loves us. So just take that love into your heart and feel the beauty of that. And feel the beauty of who you are on Earth at this time. And the beauty of your journey. And trust that you are exactly where you need to be at any time, living out your life in love. When we choose the love, we have the power to share that love and to be that love. So just breathe and gradually, slowly come back now into our gathering. And thank Mother Earth. Thank whatever you saw through that doorway. And thank yourself for doing the journey of love and healing. Breathe and feel yourself grounded wherever you began our meditation. Okay, come back now. So, thank everyone. If you have any shares, please, raise your hand or put it in the chat. Or I'm so grateful that all of you were able to join me today, especially for that meditation. I enjoyed it myself. And I want to give a shout out to all the graduates of Signature Cell Healing around the world. Previous, in Kahu Fred's workshops or in the workshops that I've given. And I'd like to open it up to reconnect with you. So if you are a graduate of Signature Cell Healing, please send me an email at Karinna@signaturecellhealing.com or Karinna@KarinnaNielsen.com. We have a monthly gathering that is just a beautiful group of goddess lights. And if you'd like to join us, we're opening it up wider for more graduates of signature cell healing. So send me an email and I can let you know how that works. Any shares from our meditation? Come on, Wendy. Oh, okay, Tatiana. I'm sorry. And Tatiana, it was lovely to see you last month. Go ahead.
I was knocked out for the beginning. I just wasn't here. During the meeting.
Oh, how
It was
beautiful.
so powerful.
I'm so glad you liked it. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Yeah. Thank you, Tatiana. And we look forward to your return to Lemuria.
I will definitely. That's my place.
Oh, that's great. Anybody else want to share? Wendy, I called you out.
I just wrote a note in chat, Karinna. I said it was a powerful meditation, and mahalo and aloha to everyone here. It is such a joy, and I can come into this session in not such a great place, and I leave it, and I'm definitely floating in love. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. And it's meditation is the most critical thing that we have to remember at this time. Don't forego your meditations. I'm in there 3 times a day. I'm a meditation junkie. And even my cats know it. The door is closed. Nobody comes until it's time. And you know what? I think our animals, they have little watches that they wear on their paws because they know exactly when the time is over. Yeah. So don't forego prayer, the 4 pillars of consciously creating, which you'll find in the 10 principles, which is prayer, meditation, sleep state programming, and masterminding. These are the powerful ways that we have to bring in the spirit world into guide our human experience. So if you're doing the other 6 principles but leaving out those 4, it is not quite balanced. So bring them all in and weave them together. And if you'd like to learn more about the 10 principles, there's books, there's audio recordings on signature cell healing. And on my website, KarinnaNielsen.com, you'll find just a short synopsis of all the principles in the Lemurian wisdom section. So any other shares? Yes, Tatiana, please. Oh, sorry. I clicked the wrong button. Wait. Sorry, I clicked mute. Go ahead. I still can't hear you.
Oh,
There
do
we go.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You talk about your cat, and I want to tell you my experience about the cats. My morning ritual to walk for 1 hour, and like while I'm walking, a lot of times I'm just reciting the mantra purple purple. I am a violet flame, and there is a cat on our neighbors. If she's around, she starts following all the time. She's following me when I'm reciting this mantra. I think she likes that energy. And she walks behind me all the time. If I'm reciting this, if I'm not, she just stays away.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, especially cats, which Master Carol always called the brainiacs of the animal weave. It's so true. They're so smart, and they're just so in tune with the frequency of people that are around them, people they love. So yeah, thank you for that share. Thank you for that share. We have we have our own journeys here with cats, and they're primarily, a lot of them come from the galactic realms. So you can pretty much trust that you're connecting back with your galactic friends if you've got a cat following you. Or even if you have one, right? Okay, any final shares before we wrap this up? And I want to just put it out there and remind you that Monday, October 14th is the Global Healing Meditation for Mother Earth. And, you know, I really appreciate any shares that you have from doing that. We have a meditation webpage at KarinnaNielsen.com. So you'll always be able to find which night every month we're doing it. It's usually 3 to 4 nights before the full moon. And we've got some powerful moon energies this month. There's meteor showers, there's comets, there's all kinds of stuff. So this is a power. Get out and look at the stars, you know, at sunrise or sunset, and look for that comet. Comet's going to be in the evening sky pretty soon, so this month. So these are all energies of creation. It's just so perfect for October. I just love it. So also join us tomorrow for the Sunday service at Honolulu Church of Light and our next Heart Spirit Connections webinar on November 2nd for Saturdays. It's been my joy to be with you today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you're looking for readings or healing sessions, I'm also available for that, KarinnaNielsen.com. Have a wonderful month of creation. I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon. Aloha. Thank you.